Hello, I'm Eric Singer, Gazette.com, and this is Switchbacks FC, your show for everything that is the Switchbacks. And joining me, as always, is Coach Steve Tritchew, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC coach. Thank you, Coach, for being here, as always.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, it was a tale of two games, and we're going to have to focus. We'll focus on the good, and then we'll focus on the not so good, which was a heartbreaker in Los Angeles. First, let's talk overall between those two games.
Well, if you start back, we had a 2-week plan. So we had the Open Cup game, and then we had our home game, and then the other Open Cup, and then an away game. So we looked at it and said, hey, if we can get 3 out of 4 on this, it'd be great, and that's what we did. So but the game in Los Angeles was a little bit of a heartbreaker. We had the lead. We gave a lead up late in the first half off a restart, and then gave a goal in the 93rd minute, which is really the worst way to lose. And but we took a lot of positives out of that game. I mean, LA is a very good team. They're one, I think, right now, looking at the teams that we've played and watching the league, they're probably the top team right now to beat. But we had a good game against them, but we lost focus 2 times in the game. And that's what happens. Some of these guys are a little bit young. They're not keeping their focus the whole game. And unfortunately, we're on the wrong end of it.
All right, speaking of focus, let's go ahead and roll the highlights. First, for the Open Cup game, we're talking about going to Salt Lake. Yep. And that was it was a good outcome, a very good outcome, especially when you focus on going on the road, playing 2 games back-to-back virtually.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. It didn't start out, well, actually, it started out well. I mean, Josh Phillips puts a great ball through to Aaron King. I believe this is in the 2nd or 3rd minute. And we put the ball away. And then, we've defended a lot the game. It really wasn't one of our best games that we've played. We had about an hour or so delay at halftime for lightning and things like that. So it might have threw off our momentum coming from the first half into the second half. But, like I told the guys, I mean, when you find ways to win in a game and you're not playing your best, you're a good team. And that's what we did. We came out with the win for 1-0, and now we move on to the next round.
As you're watching this and you're watching the other side, tell me what you're thinking as you're watching. Now you have a closer look at your guys and the guys you faced.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it wasn't one of our better games. Defensively, we defended a lot during the game. Samir Bader had a very good game in goal. And they had a bunch of chances. They hit the crossbar late in the game. There's one in the first half there that is very close. But like I told the guys, like I said, we found a way to win the game, and it wasn't pretty. But that's in that cup competition. That's what it is. You win and you go on. You lose, you're done. And we get to go on and play the Rapids next.
All right, now let's go to the next game. Once again, both were away games. So you played 2 in a week, and you'll be playing again this time 2 in a week.
Yeah.
But we'll be focusing on that a little bit later in our show. But 2 in a week on the road, and we're watching that on Gazette.com live. It was both exciting matches, regardless of the outcome. Sure, everybody wants a win, but you learn from losses as well, in addition to wins. So let's go ahead and roll the highlights, and we'll get a better feel for this. But as we're waiting, go ahead and explain it to us.
Well, the first 10 minutes, actually, they were all over us. They had a couple of chances. I think we cleared 1 off the line. I think they had 4 or 5 corners in that 5 minutes, and we just didn't have the best start. But then as the game settled down, we got a goal, I think, about the 17th minute. And Miguel Gonzalez, I told the league this has got to be one of the goals of the week on that. And I mean, it was, just a ball played in, a ball played back, and he hit the volley out of the first time out of the air. And then we had a few chances. They had a few chances. Like I said, it was a good game. LA is a very good team in that. And just towards the end of the game, I think it was about towards the 44th or 45th minute, we gave a restart up, and we just lost a mark on it. And the guy headed it in too close to the goal, and that's why I said, they're young players. They need to keep focused the whole 90 minutes of the game. You're losing if you lose that focus just for 5 seconds, and then they can take advantage of it, and that's what they did. So we went into the half 1-1, and we changed a few things, just tried to stay a little bit more compact, stay a little bit more tight, and we came out in the second half and did well. And as the game moved on, we actually scored a goal, and at the time I didn't think it was offsides, but as I went back and watched it, he was offside on the goal. And then we had a 2-on-1, which we really should have scored. Nate Robinson had a chance. I mean, he's 1-on-1 with the keeper, and the keeper makes a really good save, but we've got to put that away. And then the game's done, and then maybe a minute later they come down, and like I said, we lose focus for just a couple seconds, and they took advantage of it.
Well, you've been talking over and over again the word focus. As coach, how do you get them to focus? You had the first game, good outcome, you won. Second game, a loss. But in both games, you were talking about focus.
Right.
How do you get in this couple of days that they have that time to be able to work out with you. How do you get that focus level?
Well, and as you said, I mean, hopefully we watch these games and we take what we want out of the games. I mean, I try to stay positive when I'm bringing things out of a game, and hopefully those mistakes don't happen again. And if we can keep that focus for a full 90 minutes, we're a very good team. If we let up, a lot of the goals this year have happened on that. We just lose focus for just a few seconds, and they take advantage of it. So it's really maintaining that focus for that whole 90 minutes. And like I said, some of these guys are young players and they haven't played at this level yet. And the more you play, the more you learn, and that's what I'm hoping for.
And the more you learn, what have they learned from this loss?
Well, I think we're a good team. I mean, that's the first thing I told them. I said, don't take this out, don't take the loss and put it on negative on it. This is a good team we played, and like I said, I think it's one of the top teams in our especially in our division. And we went toe to toe with them, and I think we can play with anybody. So we just got to keep going. Like I said, keep saying in the show, we want to be better than that last game. And so we go into this Saturday against Vancouver, and hopefully that'll happen.
And we're going to be talking about both those games in just a few minutes. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back with Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, your definitive source of everything that is the Switchbacks, we're going to be talking with one of the players. We'll be right back. I'm Eric Singer, Gazette.com, and this is the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, your source for everything that is the Switchbacks. As promised, we have a player here from the Switchbacks. Joining us now is Josh Phillips. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, let's learn a little bit about you for your fans.
All right, so I was born in Seattle, raised in Olympia. I recently graduated from Gonzaga University. Following graduation at Gonzaga University, I played for FC Tucson in the PDL. And I was lucky enough to have Steve Tritschut, head coach of the Switchbacks, see me play in a couple matches, and now I'm here as a Switchback.
So tell me, what is Coach Steve teaching you? We were talking earlier about focus. What are the important things that you're learning from him?
So as a first-year professional, I think that focus plays a big part, not only in the games but in practice, to learn as much as I can from those that have been there and people that have the experience that I don't have. And we talk about it all the time in practice, and I do think that we're getting better at it, and as a group we are molding together. The other center back, JJ Gear, I'm getting more time with him on the field, and communication's getting better, focus is getting better, and just learning a little bit about his tendencies is allowing myself to stay focused throughout the 90 minutes.
Last week, two separate outcomes on the road. First game, Open Cup game.
Yeah.
That was a win. Then going against LA Galaxy 2. That was a loss. Let's go ahead and first let's focus on the positives. First, let's go ahead and roll those highlights. We're talking about the game in Salt Lake, and this is you on the field. Explain what's going on.
So JJ passed the ball out wide, took a touch up the field, saw our forward, Aaron King, make a great run down the center of the field, and just chipped a little ball into him, and he was...
A little chest bump too, just
yeah,
in case?
Okay. He was composed enough to put it away and give us the lead.
When you're watching this, what are you seeing about yourself and your team in this game?
Like Steve said, this wasn't a pretty game, but in order to be a team that does well and continues to win, sometimes you have to grind out an away trip and get the result, and that's what we did in this game. We scored early in the game and then hung on and maintained that 1-0 lead throughout the entire 90 minutes.
All right, now let's go to the LA Galaxy 2. We're talking about Saturday's game. Once again, both were seen on Gazette.com because they're both away games. So let's focus a little bit on this. This was a tale of two different games. Let's go ahead and focus on it.
Yeah, so coming into this game, we were really excited coming off the 1-0 victory for the Open Cup, and we knew that we wanted to come out and make a statement to the league in this game. First 10 minutes, we were kind of sitting back a little bit, didn't come out with the energy that we needed, but after those 10 minutes, we started to click, and were able to get a great goal by Miguel Gonzalez and continued to play well throughout the game. Unfortunately, we had 2 errors, and it cost us the match, but overall, I think that there's a lot to take from this game, and we proved that we can play with those that are on top of the league.
Absolutely. I think those are some key salient points about this game, and especially about the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. But you were talking the first 10 minutes, you didn't have that focus, that I guess, for lack of a better term, the fire in your gut during the game. Where was that at?
I'm not exactly sure. I think that maybe a part of it was playing. This was our 4th game in the span of a little over a week and a half, and maybe the legs weren't there at the first 10 minutes, but caught our 2nd win really early on, and were able to take it to them for the rest of the match.
How are you motivating yourself right now?
This past 2 days we have been resting the legs, so I think that's going to pay dividends to the energy that we're going to be able to show on the field this coming week. And you don't really need to pump us up to play an in-state rivalry. I think the selling point is in the match itself, and everybody on our team really wants to win that game. So
now let's take about Saturday's game, which will be at home, Sand Creek Stadium against Vancouver. That should be another great game.
Yeah, it should be great. I'm really looking forward to it. The weather seems to be getting a little better day by day,
Right.
So I hope that increases the level of support and energy that we have going out throughout the city right now, and we have a big home crowd that cheers us on to a victory against the Whitecaps.
Speaking of which, go ahead and address your fans, the Trailheads. That's what your fans are called, which is really exciting. And you know what? Why don't you go ahead and tell them why it's important for them to be there for you at these games?
It's really important for the Trailheads to be here. We love the energy. You guys have been there through the rain. You guys have been there through the snow. Now you guys can be there in the sunshine and follow us throughout the season and cheer us on to victories.
All right. Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Josh.
thanks for
It was
having
nice
me.
meeting you. And of course, we'll be right back with Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC.
Doing what we do for a living, we have to give that extra mile, even when you think you can't. Because not only are we taking care of people, but we're taking care of ourselves. At Centura, it is a culture of health. And as a group, we've brought that to the forefront to demonstrate to patients.
See Juliana's inspiring story at CenturaConnected.org.
Welcome back. I'm Eric Singer, Gazette.com, and this is Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, your source for everything that is Switchbacks. Joining me as always, Coach Steve Tritchew. Thank you, Coach Steve. Sure. All right, we've talked about the two games. Heartbreaker in LA, that was the byline of that
Right.
one. And then we also talked about the win in Salt Lake. Now, let's focus ahead at home, Sand Creek Stadium against Vancouver. Let's go ahead and roll a little video so we can learn a little bit about the team you're going to be facing.
Yeah, this is their last home game on the last Sunday here. They played Arizona, actually won the game 2-0. So, it's one of those teams. It's an MLS second team, basically. So, they had 9 of their first team players playing in this game. So, not really sure who they're going to bring this trip. They actually play in Salt Lake on Wednesday night. So, we'll see. This will be their 3rd game in a week, too. So, the plan is right now to come out and be intense and get them from the beginning, and hopefully that they have some tired legs and we can get on top of them early.
During this game, who are you going to be looking for? Obviously, you don't know exactly who you're going to be playing, which specific squad, but if just in this game, maybe some of the people who are going to be the stars.
Yeah, like I said, they're a very solid team, nine first-team players. Actually, the number 9 here on the ball, I think his name is Mesquita or something like that. I can't pronounce it, but he seems to me the one that makes their game work. He finds the ball a lot. He sits in the middle. He roams wide. But like I said, I'm just not sure who they're going to bring. So we just got to prepare for anything. And like I tell the guys, we just got to keep playing our game, keep getting better day after game, and come play our game. I think the way that they play, the way we play, it's going to suit our game very well.
You've got the preparation down. You're trying to focus on that after 2 games. So on the road, now we're talking about different kinds of drills. We're talking about now mental drills. How do you razor sharp them?
Well, we got to do some situational things. When you're winning a game with 5 minutes to go, how can you finish the game off? Or you're tied with 5 minutes to go, and maybe you just want to get the point out of the game. How you can stay focused for those 5 minutes and get the result? Or if you're down a goal with 5 minutes to go, and how can you get back into the game? So I think we're gonna really concentrate on that this week in training. Just it's called situational play. And just keep working on that and try and get their focus right, learn from our mistakes, and stay positive.
You were talking about younger players in our first segment. Josh Phillips, one of the younger players, he said in one of the games he lost that intensity. They lost, for some reason, the intensity for the first 10 minutes. For young soccer fans who aren't professional but love the game just as you do as a professional, what would you tell them to keep that focus? What kind of guidelines would you give them so that they can get on the field and say, stay focused for their coach?
Well, it's a concentration thing. You just got to go into a game concentrating on your task at hand and what you need to do. The team, I know they're young players, but they've been doing very well at it. But the first 10 minutes in LA, it wasn't really just losing our focus. They're a good team, and they just got on top of us, and we just had to get that pressure. And in the first 10 minutes, we weren't very good, but we held the pressure. They didn't score a goal, and then the game settles down. But for young players, they just need to try and maintain that focus. Just whatever your task is at hand, whether you're a defender, defend for those first 10 minutes, or whether you're an attacker, maybe you have to defend those first 10 minutes and get the game settled down, and then you can get your possession going. And that's what we kind of did in that game. We just had to get that pressure off us the first 10 minutes, and then the game settled down. We had some good possession. We scored a great goal going forward, and then the rest of the game we did the same thing. So It's a hard thing to learn. It's a hard thing to replicate into training, but we just got to figure out ways to do that and improve on it.
One thing that I didn't hear you say that in previous Switchback shows you did say was the lack of communication. They're communicating. They're doing as you've asked them to do, that communication on the field, which is helping them to be better on the field.
And that's one thing they've learned, and really that comes with playing with each other. We're 9 games into the season. I knew it was going to take a while.
Right.
But everybody's starting to know each other and their tendencies on the field, and now guys are starting to communicate, but now guys are starting to listen to them. And before it was like, should I trust this guy or not?
Right.
But now it's getting to that point where everybody's getting on the same page, and it's been actually good.
Now, this is that moment where you can be able to talk to the fans. Sand Creek Stadium should be rocking and rolling come Saturday when you play Vancouver. Go ahead and ask them.
Yeah, come on out Saturday night, 7 o'clock at Sand Creek Stadium. Like Josh Phillips said, we need your help. Any of the help, and hopefully the weather will be good, and it's looking good. So no rain, no snow, so come on out. It's going to be a great, let's pack that house this weekend with 4,000 people.
And of course, we'll be following what happens on the field right here at the Gazette and on Gazette.com. With everything Colorado Springs Switchbacks, I'm your host of the show, Eric Singer, Gazette.com. Until next time, well, great luck, of course, to the Switchbacks.